Okay, and now let's share the screen. And what we're going to do now is an exterior share. All right. An exterior demolition. So this is a gas station. I mean, not a gas station. This is a, what is it? It's a quick quack car wash. And they're doing some renovation
Okay.
to it. And they're doing site renovation. So the first thing that we're going to do is go through. This is something typical that I mean, and this is good demo. And this is the like typically what you'll see in any commercial project. But then I'll just go over the process of what how I do the takeoff and the pieces and parts that are required. And so if we can see, it's the site plan. And two, they're going to have all of the keynotes. And so we're just going to follow the keynotes and make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. And of course,
Okay.
demo when we demo things, this the symbol for we're going to demo it is it has the broken line. And so we know pretty
Okay.
much anything with the broken line is going to be demoed. And so let's start. So the first thing you always want to do after you review the specifications is kind of look at all of the keynotes just in general. So let me get this in here. So they have general notes. Okay. And, read through those, but, the general notes really are part of the specifications. And so they try to do the contractor a favor by having these there too. So just make sure, you review those in detail. Existing conditions shown are based on available documents and field observation. Okay. So that just kind of tells you right there. They really just like guessing a lot of the stuff. And the key thing when you're doing any construction work is just to keep a eye out for any conditions that are on the site when you're doing the work that don't conform to the plans. And that's the biggest part, especially like we talked about before with demo. There's a lot of stuff they just throw out there with no details. And so when you are doing an initial assessment, and usually this is how the process goes, you bid on a project, you win it, and then they say come do a site visit. Well, at that point,
Okay.
because typically you won't get a site visit before in commercial, usually you don't get a site visit beforehand. Some GCs are have their stuff together to where yeah, they will try to do at least one before they expect your estimate, but most don't. And so really as a demo contractor, it's really up to you to make sure okay, we're doing the estimate now based on the plans. And they tell you right here it's based on available documents and what we see. So they're letting you know it may not be as accurate as the real life situation. So again, I can't stress enough for a demo contractor. When you do go on site and you take your estimate and you physically compare your lengths and square feet and all of that to the actual location. If it doesn't match up, then you take it back to the office and edit the estimate and make it very clear where it doesn't match up. Okay. And so you want to read over all
Okay.
that. Shall verify existing conditions. Yeah. Contractor shall be responsible for site verification and any and all
Oh, you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
breaking up. Can you hear me?
You're breaking up. Yeah, keep talking because you're breaking
Okay.
up. So,
You know what? What is it's now? This is Comcast. Let me get that straight.
okay.
Hold
Now
on.
you're good.
Oh, you know what? No, let me just make sure all the cords. It's delicate, I guess today. Oh, look, I kind of hear myself different right now. Okay, can you hear me? Am I coming through all the way?
You sound
Okay,
good.
good. All right, perfect. So yeah, make sure you stop me. So verify all existing conditions and okay. So work scope shall include all demo work required in way of accommodating new construction. So again, all of these general notes are like your work shall include stuff that we're not even showing you on the plans. So
Okay.
contractor shall include all demo work required. Okay, for construction, contractor
Why do they use shall versus must? Because it
shall
sounds like
versus
shall
must.
is almost like it's like there's a slight option where must sounds more definitive.
Yeah, well, You know what? That's weird. It sounds like legal jargon, right? It's like, well, what's the difference
No.
between shall and must? And you know what? I would just assume you have to do both, for
Yeah.
simplicity. I shall, I must. You know, it's probably
Yeah.
just, I mean, who knows? I would just assume, yeah, I
Oh,
have to, you
I
know?
got to do it. Okay.
Yep. Contractor shall remove and store all items as directed by owner's representative. Contractor shall document condition of items to be relocated in project. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff that you don't want to overlook. So, first of all, contractor shall document condition of items. Okay, now remove and store all items as directed by owner's representative. Okay, so where that would be is in the specifications. Okay, that would be very specific. Store all items as directed, how they want you, the directions would be in the specifications. So make sure, that's what that means. Okay. And
Okay.
then, yeah, you got to document the condition of items to be relocated. Any items damaged by the contractor or his subcontractor shall be replaced at no cost to the owner. That's what really everything is all about. And so when you do demo, you want to make sure you really know which items are to be salvaged because you can't just rip those apart. It was just like you were
Mm-hmm.
saying your guy wanted the carpet tiles. Well, you can't just rip that apart. And two, one thing you have to understand too when it comes to labor cost, when you're removing something in it to salvage it, you're deconstructing it, right? Which is a very careful process. And so keep in
Mm-hmm.
mind that kind of stuff is more labor. Okay. Anytime
Mm-hmm.
you see salvage, whatever, salvage and remove and store, all of that labor, I mean, that's more labor than just knocking stuff down. And so you really want to make sure when you review the specifications, it's going to tell you which items need to be salvaged and how and where and all of that. And just follow those directions very carefully. Architect assumes no
Okay.
responsibility for the detection and or removal of any hazardous material, including but not limited to asbestos. So of course, the architect assumes no responsibility. Okay, so who's supposed to have that responsibility if the architect assumes no responsibility?
Me.
Well, is it you as the contractor? But they're letting you know, hey, if you find asbestos, it ain't on us.
Yeah.
So what do you have to do? You have to do the hazard assessment prior to just going up there and ripping stuff down. And two, like we talked about before, look at the year the building was born or built. I love saying born, built,
Right.
and that'll tell you everything that's there. Okay. So, general notes. But if you look at the general notes and me being a claims adjuster in construction for so many years, it's all about liability issues. Okay. It's really all about liability. What's D? You shall remove and store items as directed because if you mess them up, you're going to pay for them, right? That's a liability
Mm.
issue. E, architect assumes no responsibility for the detection and or removal of any hazardous material. What is that? That's a liability issue. That's all that is.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you find asbestos, it's on somebody, but it's not on me. So you breathe it in, it's not on the architect at least. Uh, you know. So parties responsible for demolition shall notify owner immediately if any suspected materials and it referred to Article 10 of AIA document. And that AIA documents, you're familiar with AIA documents? That's a
No.
contract. The American Institute of Architects or something, AIA, it's just a series of contracts, boilerplate contracts that are, and I think I have a video on YouTube along from a couple years ago. It's a series of boilerplate contracts that you just use, that they use. And so that's what they're telling you to refer to because uh, depending on the type of construction and the way that the construction is delivered, is it delivered by a GC? There's so many delivery methods when it comes to construction. Well, AIA construction documents address our contracts that are tailored to those different types of construction delivery methods. And so that's what they're
Okay.
telling to look into Article 10 of AIA document A201. And I will give you my video on the AIA documents. And
Okay.
that's really AIA documents. If you get any contract from any GC for like commercial, they all use that same thing. Okay, so it's not like every GC has a whole their own contract. That's the purpose of AIA documents, and you can actually buy a subscription to that. So these GCs have a subscription to these documents to where they
I
use them,
see.
they pull them out and they use them based on the type of project that they're working on. And so that's
So
good for you to
basically,
know. Mhm.
so there's going to be a standardization. I think you're also implying that everyone will have kind of this a similar standard that they're following with their architectural papers. Is that
Right,
true?
with their contracts. So just remember
Okay.
that AIA is just a series of construction contracts based
Oh,
on,
okay. Got
yeah, like this kind of contract is based on how, the owner is the GC. You see, this kind of
okay.
contract is based on we've hired a GC and his people to do it. You see,
Oh, I
so
see. I see.
AIA
So some
documents,
standardization. They
right?
create this. Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes. It's a standardized boilerplate set of construction documents, and the wording in each, I should say, is tailored to
Uh-huh.
the type of construction that is agreed upon. Because you can
Okay.
deliver, that's what they call it when you deliver, when you build something. The delivery method is what they call it. How am I building this project? Is the owner the GC? Is the owner hiring a GC and a architectural firm to do it? See, those are delivery methods. Those are all different delivery methods. And so much, so much to explain. But that's what that
Yeah.
is. And so you as a contractor just need to know that they exist. The real people that use them all the time are, I mean, if you do residential and you need to have your own set, right? Because there's a set for residential construction or whatever that GCs use for that, you see? And so it's all boilerplate stuff based on the type of construction, whether it's commercial construction, residential construction, and everything's in the document. That's why it's boilerplate. So you don't have to think about it. You just fill in the blanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent
Yeah.
explanation.
Okay. So let's go on. That's forever. All right. Contractor shall verify exact extent of stated and designed demolition and take all necessary precautions to shore all walls, roof, and structure accordingly to ensure building construction crew and building integrity and safety. So what's that saying?
Mhm.
Basically, what we talked about last time. If
Don't
you
get to
got
knocking out those low bearing walls.
Right. Make sure they're just telling you, hey, if we're telling you to knock down this wall, you got to make sure you shore it and don't knock down the whole building integrity, basically, yeah, the structural integrity of the building. So demolition includes saw cut, existing concrete slab, and trench to install under slab piping, provide new concrete slab per detail image number 5 on page A3 2.1 or 3.2. Lord have mercy. All right. So what is that? Now, you as the demo contractor, yeah, we're going to saw cut because when we remove concrete, asphalt, there's always two processes involved. It may, well, two processes and precautions. Okay. So really
Okay.
three processes. So you have to make sure that we're following them. And when we do this takeoff, I'll go over the processes. But the other thing you have to think about is, yeah, when you demo the concrete. So
Mhm.
we're demoing concrete because we need new pipes underground run. So we're demoing the concrete. You're the demo contractor. So you're demoing the concrete, but are you installing the new concrete? Right?
Mm.
Because, right, see, that's something you gotta, because you're gonna have to sub it out, right? Because you're a demo and that's why I tell her that's why they have different divisions. You're a demo contractor. You're not a concrete contractor.
Con-
You can I
Right.
mean, you can demo the concrete, but can you put it back? And so those are things that you need to understand in commercial. Are they expecting you to put it back as the demo person? Because what has to happen? That you demo it, right? And then the plumber comes in and does his work. How long? Only God knows how long that's going to take. Well, they should know because everybody should have a construction schedule. So you go
Right.
demo the concrete. You're first on the site. You demo and you're out of there. Well, do you know? Do you have to come back once they're installing the pipes to do it, or is it somebody else? And so that, or is it the actual concrete contractor? Because this job has a lot of new concrete work. Period. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
those are the little kind of things logistically you got to make sure you understand, or you exclude, right? Excludes all
Mm,
new concrete, period. That way, it's no question you're not installing the new concrete. And then
mm,
if the GC sees that, and then they'll call you and say, hey, we do want you to install the new concrete. And okay, then you have to get a sub and figure out what that costs. But eventually,
mm-hmm.
as a demo contractor, yeah, I mean, even if you did a residential, you would probably have to figure out a way to get that back in, So those are things you think about as a demo contractor. That's one. When I demo concrete for new pipes or whatever, do do I have the resources and provision to add that to what I do too? Because yeah, if they want me to, even in residential, they don't want to have to look for a concrete contractor. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something you should think about, incorporate. Should I have a concrete sub on the side, 1099? So when I do have to do this, I've got a concrete professional, right, that knows how to
Yeah.
put it in the right way. So those are
Yeah.
things you got to think about too. And two, for the purpose of demo, you just exclude that. But that's something you should think about. So
Okay.
GC shall prepare and repair as necessary to preserve new finishes in all areas. So yeah, when you in commercial, and that's another thing you have to think about. When we're knocking down a wall that's adjacent to another wall, are we prepared or do we know how to fix it for new finishes? To take that wall out and then repair the drywall and prepare that portion of where we remove the wall and make sure it's good for, preserved for new finishes in all areas.
Mm,
Okay, so that's
okay.
something to. Now, maybe you might need a drywall person, you know? It's like electricians. My son is a tech, right? And he always got to drill into some drywall, but he's a
Mm,
tech.
right.
He's not a drywall person. But
Right.
but he's learned how to do it because it's just that's part of the game when
Right.
you do little pieces, right? But
Yeah.
I don't really want my son doing my drywall. But yeah, I mean, if I ain't got a choice, then I'll have him do the drywall, and then I'll have to come
Okay.
behind him. But you see what I'm saying? Those are things that demo contractors have to think about. It's like, yeah, I got to knock down this wall. The GC's expecting me, just like when you remove the flooring, they want you to prep it for new finishes. So what does that mean? What other equipment, what other people do you need for that? Everything in commercial is prep for new finishes. And then items damaged during demolition beyond scope of demolition requirements shall be repaired or replaced to like new condition at no additional cost to owner. Okay, so you really got to know what you're demoing and be very careful at it. Know what's going for good and know what is, going to be salvaged. Okay. GC to verify all demolition work has been done under separate contract. If not, da, 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 da. Okay. So now are the keynotes.
Okay.
Keynotes are what your scope of work is, basically. So whether you're the framer, drywall, whatever, you're always going to have keynotes. And so the keynotes are numbered. Demo existing window glazing, infill with new framed wall and new storefront windows. Okay, so
They want the
again,
demo guy to those things.
right. So that's, I mean, what do you do? Can you do that? Do you exclude it? Do you, I mean, because that just seems like that should be on the architectural set and a new wall infill on the architectural set. See, and that's the confusing part. So if you know you're not going to do it, just exclude it, or have a conversation with the GC. Do you really want is this, I mean, I know this is on the keynotes, but do you want the demo contractor to be able to do all these things and then they'll tell you. And you know what? For business reasons, it's not a bad idea to
No.
have somebody because you already know. I mean that it's 100% guaranteed that when you demo a wall, you're going to leave a messed up part of the wall that needs to be
Mhm.
repaired. And so typically the demo person in commercial demos everything, even the plumbing, right? And makes it and gets it all ready for the new stuff. Okay, so whatever that means. So yeah, you might have to infill with new framed wall. And now storefront windows, that's going a little too far because I definitely, I mean, even when I do estimates for framers, we exclude storefront window framing because that's a specialty situation. Those are specialty frames, specialty windows.
Mhm.
A
Mhm.
window person would do that 100%. So yeah,
Yeah.
when I do this estimate, when we shadow each other and I do the estimate, I'm actually going to do the infill. I'm going to do the infill of the frame walls because that's not a big ask to frame a wall. You get a framer, they can fill that in. But the storefront, we're going to exclude that. Okay, now I'm going to also input a part for the new concrete and show you what is involved in that. Because when you cut out reinforced concrete, okay, reinforced concrete has what? Reinforcement in it. So you're cutting that
Mhm.
out. So that's a bigger cost. It's more expensive to cut out whether it's mesh or rebar. Of course, it's going to cost
Mhm.
them more for you to cut that out. But then again, when you put it back, you have to incorporate the rebar back into where you cut it out. So basically, what you're doing is not only installing the concrete, you're installing rebar. You got to drill now, rebar back into where you cut. And so that rebar goes into is extended into where you cut and to the new thing. So basically, you put rebar in and let it hang out, drop your concrete, and you've put concrete and reinforcement back in that same place. Okay, so when you
Mhm.
cut out a piece of concrete that has reinforcement, you cut the reinforcement, but then you have to go back and connect the old concrete to the new concrete through reinforcement, which means you got to drill into the old concrete the new rebar. I mean,
Mhm.
serious. I mean, legit. I mean, that's what it is. And
Yeah.
so those are extra costs. The dowels, basically, that's what they say. You have to dowel the whole perimeter of that cut, which is you got to stick them out to where they now will go through the old,
Look at
pass
you.
through the new.
Look at you. You know how to do that.
I told you why. Hey, I'm the construction queen. I'd be the
You're breaking up.
construction
You're
king.
breaking up.
I'm the construction queen.
Uh-oh. You're
Am
breaking
I
up.
still breaking up? Okay, there we go. Man, I paid a lot for this piece of crap.
Can't hear
It
you.
can't
There
hear
we
me.
go. Now I
You-
can hear you.
Okay. Yes, I know how to do that. I'm the
I
construction
love it.
queen.
I love
15
it.
years. Come on now. If you've done
I
anything
love
15 years and you've performed it as an African American, don't you know you got to be the best? You already know
Oh,
that.
I know it. I know.
You
I'm
know
proud
that.
of you. I'm
You
glad to know you.
you when you type me that, I'm proud of you. I'm like, oh, thank you, mom. That made me feel so happy.
We all need to hear it. We don't
I
hear it
know, I
enough
know. I
from
was
us.
so
From
happy.
us.
Just like
Yeah.
your logo and your name. It's like I tell everybody I know. It's like I might start one of them in Cali. I might have to steal that name. Like, hey, I got to share with you
And
because
I own a lot of them. I own Was Junkie, You Junkie, Had Junk. I own all.
yes, that's the best. That's the best. That's the best. There's no doubt what you do. See, there's no they can't doubt what you do because it's
Honestly, given that we only do probably 1% junk removal. So in the beginning, that was the what I saw, and then the
mm,
demolition took
right,
off. So really, the name kind of doesn't match anymore. But for
right.
junk removal, perfect.
Yeah, for
So
sure. And
so
I mean
we
it
do.
matches.
We also are known as UJ Demolition because
Oh,
it's a
okay.
little. It sounds a little in the construction thing. It sounds more fitting. But when
Yes,
people see
right.
you when we're in the construction field, it kind of it
Sounds more
throws them off. Hey,
residential.
what do you? Yeah, like what do you do? Pick up couch. We always have to explain. Oh no, that was the original vision, but we're doing something different now.
Yeah, right. I mean, you could. Hey, I would use the exact same logo, but UJ Demo. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
U Junkies for residential. UJ Demo is commercial.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah,
Exactly.
but
Yep.
it's great. All right, so let me quit talking. So yeah, I mean, that's part of the process of when you got to put it back. So I'm going to go over that with you. And even in the set of plans, it should show you how they want you to patch it back up. It should say review section whatever. But it doesn't. Here it doesn't, but it probably does somewhere. So, all right, remove existing framing. Okay, we got that. All right, so let's just go to the set of plans. And so
Okay.
we already know that the broken lines here mean demo. And so what I do first is, let's see, when we do the demo, we want to do, you kind of want to layer your takeoff so you don't cover up stuff that's necessary. Like for
Okay.
instance, um, like if I had to demo like mm, I had to demo like let's see what 16 is. Yeah, okay. No. No, that's to remain. But if I had to demo all of this area, I wouldn't highlight this. I do all of this first because I layer it outward. You know what I mean? So I'm going to do everything that's a line first. And let's see what the
Okay.
lines are. Uh Trellis feature, door framing. Let's get us
So
some.
was that, so did you looked at a number? Where you, how you say, let's see? How do you know where to go?
So these numbers on here are all your keynotes.
Okay, there you go. You saw
Yep.
one. So you
hmm
look for
And
one
then
description?
right. So one here corresponds to one on the keynotes.
Okay,
Okay.
gotcha.
So this is kind of now I just realized this is building and site, but on the site plan. All right. So number one, we're gonna go down the row. Uh, Demo existing window glazing infill. Okay, so that's number one. So remember, this is a car wash, those kind you drive through. Okay,
Okay.
so let's look at number one. So for window framing, for number one, that's next to the building. Okay, so here it is right here. Remove
Okay. Yeah.
window frame and window. So when you remove a
So
window,
I take it there's already a car wash, but they're gonna rehab it, renovate it.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. And my electrician, or actually my son's employer, he bid on the site electrical. Well, we did, so
Okay.
hopefully we'll have good luck. Okay, so anytime you want to demo a window, you should take notes on this too. And we're recording it. When you demo a window based on the square feet of the window. So how many square feet? What's the area of the window? Okay, so when
Okay.
we look at it like this is from from the plan view. So let
Mm-hmm.
me, first of all, we got to make sure the scale is correct. So 1 equals 20, So for every inch we
Okay.
measure, it's really 20 feet. But when we measure window, so I'm going to say demo window because I'm going to measure window because we need to know this is how many linear feet of window.
Mhm.
So every time we see that one, here's some one here. So, I mean, now square feet is length times width. They're not
Mhm.
giving us what the width of this window is, okay,
Mhm.
at all. So what do? You either guess, is that all my windows? Probably
Mhm.
not, but we're gonna stop it there. Well, let me do all my windows. So either you're gonna guess or what I would try to do because I know that I don't really know what they're doing with that window. So but what I'm gonna do is look at exterior elevations
Okay.
because chances are, here we go,
Four by
right here.
four.
See, this is a better view. So let's go back here because exterior elevations are the exterior of the building, and it's given us here replace windows with new infill with metal stud framing, plywood, car wash finish. I don't know what that is. Stucco to outside. Keep window design element at for black for da 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 da. Okay, so that's
Four by
beautiful
four.
because what do we do now? We use this. So now we're gonna say because need to know how many square feet. Demo window.
Window.
Oh, same old window. Yeah,
So
well.
every time you want to measure something, you're labeling it whatever you're measuring.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because it's gonna make a. So this says demo window. You know what? Because they don't want to I don't know what all that is. I'm gonna assume all of that is a window. And actually, this is right around the corner from my house. So
Oh
yeah,
wow.
yeah. I was like, hey,
So
this
what's the point of them saying four by four window?
um because that's the size of the new window.
Because that's looks pretty small for what what we would be looking at.
What
A
do you
four
mean?
by four window
This one
that
right?
that must be the okay. Okay, that
Yeah,
I believe that's the window. Okay.
yeah.
So the
That is. See, it's kind of confusing because they're saying replace windows with new infill. Well, these were all windows.
okay.
Okay, but the new construction, look, is this. Okay. So when
Um
when we this signifies, and I think we might need to do some other study. This signifies that's telling us that that's window C.
okay.
Okay, so we know that. Let's go. Let's because they didn't do such a good job on the plans. These folks expect you to be architects, not just. Okay, so this is the new construction.
Okay.
Okay, that's the new construction. That's the new site plan work. See, and it's crazy because they don't they act like this set of plans acts like it's only site work and nothing to the building, which is
Mm,
isn't good at all. So let's go back to what we were looking at, our demo plan. Okay, so here's your plan as the demo contractor. This is what you'll be looking for, what you'll be looking at. So what we started with was number one, which was remove the windows. Okay, so
okay.
now let me see how many feet that is because that doesn't look like
4 feet.
six. 6.1. Okay, so let's go back here.
Okay.
And let me get a segment tool and see, because what they're showing, here's 6 feet right here, right?
Mm,
That's 6 feet. But what they were showing on the demo plan, right? The demo from above, we're like up here looking down, right?
mm,
What I measured on here, we're up here looking down. So these are supposedly the windows. That's 6 feet. Those are 6 feet windows,
mm,
6 feet long. Well, at least what they have marked, right? What they have marked as the window length, because this is supposed to be to scale. If I'm
mm-hmm.
demoing a window, the it should show me that this window's 6 feet in length. And so when they screw you around like this, okay, so I did the segment tool and I measured my 6 feet. Let me do it again. My 6 feet is there. But then what do they have? They have all of this. Remember, dotted lines mean demo. So
Mm-hmm.
either that this is wrong and this is probably not wrong. Okay? And so they want you to demo, see it and see here, replace windows with new infill. Well, is
Mm.
that a window? Yeah, because it must have been a window because they're telling me to replace it with infill. And the only window that's going to be left is the new window that they're installing, window C.
Can you measure the little one? Yeah, that.
This one? Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. 4 feet.
yeah, that's uh-huh.
Okay. So if I'm trying to really do my takeoff correctly for this, so I don't overbid, I mean, I would really, just to show the GC that I know what I'm doing, I would put
Mhm.
it in writing or have a conversation or send an email. Like from your site plan, sir, it looks like your windows are only, where we go. From your site plan, it looks like your windows each are only 6 feet long. You have one, two, three, four, five of them, six, six,
Mhm.
and they only appear to be 6 feet long. But when I look at the exterior elevations and you're telling me to demo and see what this should be is really it shouldn't be, see, this is the proposed. So this is at the,
Okay.
when they finish, this is what they want.
How do you, I mean, logically, I can understand that's the proposed, but is there something that says propose? Oh, there it is. Okay, proposed.
Yeah, right. That's what I just saw myself. So usually when they want you, demo contractor, okay, when they want you to demo something, it's all on the demo plan. It's not on the exterior. This should say demo exterior elevations demo plan. That's what that should say. What they did, they put the demo, well, this is the existing condition. Remember, existing condition is always, right? Existing conditions, division 02, that's you. Okay, so they're like, oh, existing side, existing condition. So I would know this is telling me to demo that. But what it should be, what it technically should be, is in the demo set saying exterior elevations demo.
Okay.
Okay, what they did is they just put everything on one sheet, which is good because, I mean, like I said, when you demo uh, windows or glazing, that's a square foot number. It's not a linear foot number. I mean, anything with a square feet area should be is by square foot. Just like when
Okay.
you demo walls, those are square feet. You price it by the square foot. Windows are square feet. You price it by the square foot. If you're demoing
Okay.
flooring, that's an area. You price it by the square foot. If you're demoing curbs and gutters, that's a linear. That's by the linear foot. Okay. And so
Okay.
when you're doing windows, you always want to make sure.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay.
I do not.
Man, it must be something in the air. But we did
The
have an
kids
eclipse
playing,
last night.
the kids playing Xbox.
Hey, my kids are almost 40. They not here playing Xbox. Nor my youngest son. He probably is playing Xbox because he like a dog. If he's not at work right now, yeah, he's playing online with his brother, Xbox. All right. Okay, so yes, when we
So
just
to be safe, you're telling me you would take the square footage of the from this exterior view?
yep, yep, because they're giving it to you, which is helpful. Otherwise, I would have had to guess the length of the window, and I would not have guessed the length as what 6 feet or whatever. Let's see how many.
Okay.
I'm just using my segment tool. Should be using the other one. Yeah, 7.5 feet in length. So I wouldn't have assumed that the windows are 7.5 feet. And knowing where that is, yeah, probably people been busting into those windows. They're like, yeah, let's make a little window. So yeah, okay. So we could finish that so we'll know in the end because we're going to do this full thing together, or at
Now,
least
now I
attempt
just
to.
saw you click. I just saw you click something and the whole window highlighted.
Yes. Okay,
The
let me show you.
window.
Now this is Plants. Oh, you have Plants with.
Yes, I have plans with.
Yeah, okay.
I just
So
probably
when
have 5. I just
when
have maybe 5 hours around with
hey,
this. I
don't
don't know what I'm
worry.
doing.
Don't worry. And that's something else we need to schedule time for us just to talk about plants with. All right. So when you name something, right? So I want to measure my window area. And so
Okay.
well let's go let's go back here. Let's see what 14 is. I think we gotta do something. All right, good. All right. So we want to demo the curve. That's what that is. So that's a linear
Okay.
amount. So what it I think I showed you before, use the segment tool for if you're just measuring
Mhm.
individual lines. And so I click segment and I say demo curve.
Okay.
And so okay. And then I do here to there. And
Good.
then from here to there.
Good.
Click, click. Now, when you demo, he's like, no, slow down. Okay, I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna do more.
Oh, you're
So
doing good.
for when you demo curves, right? It's important that you separate straight from curved. Okay. So you see, I just did my straight runs and then the curved part I didn't do. That's the curved part.
Okay.
So I'm gonna name that something different. So
Oh,
segment, curved, curb. Because
what's the thinking behind naming them differently?
because they're priced differently. It's more
Oh,
labor when it's curved
okay.
as opposed when it's straight. So
I
then
see.
we
So
just
I'm
want to,
naming things that, so in general, when I know things are going to cost something different, I need to have a whole new category for that. A
yeah, I mean,
naming.
you want to have a category for everything that you're demoing. Okay, so let me see what 13 is. 13 is, oh, this is a good one. Demo the striping, and so segment because it's a line. And you can
Mhm.
also do it by area, but I don't do it.
I missed something. I missed how you made that curve. Can you go back?
Yep. So let's see. Some more Kurt. Let's see. Is that 13? No, that's four. Okay, those are just stripes. Okay, okay, right here. This is curved. Okay. So let's go to first things first. So we already measured straight curve. So we want to add to it this part. Say, oh, I missed it. I missed it. So I want to add to it instead of starting over. We want to add to this total. So what you do is you go to it on the left. You see how the green
Mhm.
light showed up, demo
Yep.
curve. You see the green light?
Okay.
You click the
Yep.
green
Yep.
light, click it, and then it highlights the tool again. So it'll add to what you've done.
Okay.
One click, two clicks. Okay, so that's all the straight curve.
Yep.
So right click, I'm gonna right click and stop. Now I want to add to the
Mhm.
curved curve.
Actual. Yep. Yep.
All right, so green light, curved curve, green light, click it,
Yep.
and now just do your best to just follow the curve, even though it's not gonna curve.
But what did you tell the plant Swift that I'm trying to do something that's more rounded versus straight, or does that not
No,
matter?
no. You see, it's all little straight cuts, but you don't care because when you interpret that in your estimating,
Oh,
the
oh, I
man-hour
see.
unit is more for a curve
Oh,
than
I
opposed
see.
to
So
the
it doesn't
straight.
matter on the
Yeah.
display if it's perfectly curving.
No,
You
no,
just need.
no. You using that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. All right. So let's go. So we did that, and let's see what three is. Demo trellis feature. What in that? Trellis feature. Demo trellis feature. Trellis feature.
Right?
Uh,
Must
trellis.
be some kind of
Yeah,
little
trellis.
wall or a wall.
We'll do that one later. I'm gonna have to do my research on that one. All right, so let's oh look, we got more. Okay. And so yeah, curved
Mm-hmm.
trellis.
So
That's
go as straight as you can, click, straight as you can, click, straight as you
yep,
can,
and
click.
stay within it, and just do your curve. And you see it
I
stops
love
there, right?
uh
It's not
And
all of
then
that because what? It's not broken.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Is that 14? Yeah. Same
Okay.
thing here. Oop, it did its own thing. So let me connect it. Like aliens landed in my backyard or something last night. Like I say, it's my parents. They coming down playing with all the stuff that they never got to use.
Hmm.
And so look, so we could say straight here if we want. Why not? Because I'm extremely anal, and that's what I do
Okay.
because it is basically straight.
It helps you in your bid so that you're not possibly over because you.
Hmm. Right, and you're being as detailed as you can, really. And this looks like see now here, right here, I don't know what we're doing right here because they're not marking this at all. This part, I don't know if that's a curb, if it's part of the trellis. I don't know what that is. I gotta go. I gotta go right around the corner and see what it is. There's a liquor store over here and a whole bunch of homeless people.
Many times you have to communicate with the GC to say, what's this about?
Yeah. And but also they only give you so much time to ask them
Mm-hmm.
questions. So many days after you receive the plans, request for information, right? You'll see
Mm-hmm.
that in the set of construction documents where RFIs, only through whatever date. Okay. And so that's why it's vital when you get a set of plans that you really look through them and all of the keynotes, really, right? Because, yeah, that would have told you in all of the general notes and say, hey, do you want the demo contractor to give you a price for drywall, for concrete? And knowing them, all of this is boilerplate too. Okay, knowing them, oh no, that no, we don't. Da, da, da. Okay, so don't be surprised.
Okay.
Okay, that no, they don't want it. They don't expect the demo contractor to do the drywall, but they're covering their butt because they know the drywall got to be done by somebody. So
Right.
just put it in there, and then the GC will figure out who gets to do it. But my main thing for starters is Now, when you number one, windows, square foot number. So you got to figure out a way to know what the height of that window is. I was going to assume it was like the 4x4 window until I drove to the liquor store later today. And then I saw, oh no, those are 7 foot windows. I just, I just happened to live in the neighborhood and know. But see, the
Uh-huh.
good thing about it too is you do so many of the same kind of stuff, you do know. I'm used to putting these up from scratch. I've This is like the very first one I've ever had where they actually demoed it. And I'm thinking because they tore down a hotel over here and it's going to be a really nice one, so I'm thinking they're making the car wash, making it look nicer. That's pretty much what I'm thinking they're doing.
Oh, I
But
see.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Because I thought it was from the ground up. I'm like, no, there's already a quick quack there. I live right there. I live like technically like right here. You can
Mm.
walk to that from my house. So
Wow.
so yeah, windows, definitely. You want to make sure you know what the length is. Because I mean, and to me, as a estimator, those are things that are very important because I don't demo windows by the length. And so if they
Mm.
don't give it to you, then that's something you're going to have to ask or guess or assume or, find out some other way. Just like we looked at the exterior elevations and lo and behold, oh, they gave us that information there. And so, yeah, I'm going to assume that all of these are windows. These are windows. But what I'm also assumed too now, okay, let me add to my window. So click on the window, green button and 3 over A401. I'm not sure what that is. It's probably showing you how they want the construction of the infill. So I'll look at it, but that looks like a window that needs to be. It looks like all the other ones. So now, did we remove? Yeah, because there's no more big anything anywhere. Now, what we have to do is determine how much infill. And so it's an area infill.
And I'm going to jump ahead just real quick. How do you know the cost for all these things? I know we're going to get there, but
How do you
just
know the
give me a base.
cost?
Yeah.
Well, you got a material supplier, right? That tells you the cost of framing, drywall. Now, the
Okay.
cost for is that what we're talking about? The material?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, you
all
gotta.
that stuff. So
Oh,
I'm gonna be inputting these costs that I come to learn within
yes.
my area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Right. And two, I'll give you a resource that will give you the cost. Okay, we'll talk that about
Oh,
that because this may go
okay.
uh, on YouTube. All right. So you see how I did that? You didn't see my magic with the tool, huh? Let me
Yes,
do
as
it
I'm
again.
asking.
Infill, right? We don't want to include that window because that's the new window.
Okay.
But we have to infill around the window. So look at me here. One, two, here, here, and then you can just click around the window.
Mm. Oh, I see. Click around the window.
Okay, same thing here.
Over, up, over, down, over, click, 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 click.
Right click, stop. So now you
Okay.
know that you have 263 exactly square feet of infill. Okay, so what does that mean? 263 feet of square feet of metal stud, plywood. I don't know what the car wash finish is, stucco on the outside. Okay. So that's easy to do. We could do that too. I'm going to give you, so when we do this, I'm going to give you one estimate, which I don't recommend, but the GC probably would like to see it if you're the demo person doing all this extra stuff. So we have a demo estimate portion at the top, and then at the bottom, we'll have additional cost. And the additional cost is infilling, the framing, and then infilling the concrete and all of that. And I'll break it down very detailed so you can see. All right. So, oh, did we do? Okay. So let's go back to our demo. So I'm assuming this right here. Okay, let's see what 6 is. Existing to remain, whatever that is. It don't even say what it is, but it's got to. I don't know what that is. All right. So now striping and symbols. Okay, so arrows. So that's what I would do first. Demo arrows. Because that's like blasting, water blasting, whatever. We got a price for that. So
But
that's not,
you know what they want is to remove the arrows that
yeah.
are there.
Mhm. Yep. See, look,
Okay.
you see that? The difference between that arrow? Look at that arrow. That arrow
Mhm.
and that arrow. See the difference?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, that deep
Okay.
broken line says demo me. Where that one we're keeping
Okay.
for some reason.
Okay.
Okay,
Now,
and
is that called a broken line with the other arrows that you say we're keeping? Because it's broken, although that arrow is going to stay, but that line, is that considered a broken line that it's pointing
this
to?
right here, this one,
No. Yeah.
no, that is actually the construction perimeter.
Mm.
You'll always have that. Let me show you. So, I mean, yeah, it's confusing because it's a broken line, but that's understood to be the construction perimeter. See how
Okay.
it goes all the way around? So there's no construction outside of that perimeter.
I see.
Okay, so yeah, that's confusing too. Let me see what 16. I think I already did 6. Yeah, they're keeping the driveway. Although they need to redo this part of it. I don't know why they're keeping that.
If
It's
I were
messy.
to follow those keynotes, if I were to follow the keynotes, then I would not accidentally miss number, I guess that's keynote number 19. Is keynote number 19 saying remove those lines where the dotted arrow is?
Let me see. Oh, let's see. That's a good question. Now that looks like some saw cutting right there. Let's see. Saw cut. Yep. For trenching new electrical conduits. Yep. Oh, see, that would have been good. And see, I'm good because that's exactly where I ran my conduit for my son's employer, right there. So yeah, I'm good. All right. So you as the demo contractor now. Now what they're doing here, I don't see where they're breaking that one off. Oh, wait, wait. See, we got this right here. So let's see. Because this for sure is the concrete because it's pointing to it. 19 is pointing to it. Now, is this part of it too? This one? You see, that's close. So now, concrete, first step, cut.
Cut.
Okay, so we're just going to break off. This one, I don't know what's going on there. So we'll see if that is something
And
because,
Stacy, I notice you're not choosing a color. Does this
um,
program automatically choose a different color that's been not
yeah,
has been chosen?
yeah. And then it starts over. And like I
Okay.
tell
So
everybody,
sometimes
it's
you'll
a
have
ruler, okay?
just a
We don't care
ruler.
what color it is. That's for
Okay.
girls.
Oh, I see. So
You said, "Oh, I
we care about is the written description. We don't care what color it is.
yeah, yeah, no." Okay, so
Okay.
this, I'm assuming because we don't see. Oh, yeah, we do. We see it. See, bam, right there. Here. So,
Mm-hmm.
first cost of doing concrete is the cutting. So the cutting
Mm-hmm.
involves the cutting. Why? How you gonna do a water cut? You got to make sure we don't have silica dust all in the air. So all that's one thing. That's one thing. And now let me see what we got going on here, because if nothing is pointing to that, I'm not assuming we're cutting out all, unless maybe we are cutting out all of this too, all the way up. I don't think so. Because it says this stays as is, so I doubt it. They
That
just
line right there that you're covering over, is that connected to 18?
let me see 18. I missed
It's
it.
right next to 19, where you drew your blue
Oh,
line.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. 18, 19. Let's see. Yes. Demo site paving and subsurface for new building footing and base. Oh, let's see. 18. New footing base.
Hmm.
Let's see. Look, we got this and this stuff. Oh, wow. That looks like, I'm glad we're not doing the demo because it looks like, okay, let me just draw a line for that because it looks like we're demoing here, there, and then there, all the way here to there, and they'll say asphalt. And then it looks like from here, that's what
And
it
in
looks
this
like.
case, you're not really trying to take that off. You're just trying to draw it so you can see it a little more.
Yeah, I'm seeing if that makes sense because it's saying remove. See, it's showing this asphalt, right? Concrete, and I know that's asphalt. But and then they're removing all of that, but then they're saying leave that. That's interesting. That's interesting because okay, wait. 1819. See, no, no. See, here's 1819 pointing to that.
Okay.
So
So
1819.
19 kind of like a pair, demo
Yeah.
site and stuff.
Hmm.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I mean, I don't see no 1819 here, here, just right here where it's clear that they made a box for us, right? That's clear that they made a box. And that is going
Now,
into the footing of the
that's a
building.
little tricky to me because that arrow is not necessarily pointing to that pink line. It's
Right,
pointing to the
right.
box.
It's pointing to the box. Just like this one now. Yeah, I might be doing too much with that pink line. But yeah.
Hmm.
But I mean, see, it's a crappy set of plans. Why is that there? Why is that there?
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's the same thing as this. It's the same
Okay.
configuration. Why is it there? You see? If it's
Okay.
not, if you're not asking me, and it goes all the way around. So why is it there? You're confusing me.
Hmm. So many times you guys have questions for the GC
Yeah,
on little
especially
details.
with man,
Okay.
like crazy with demo because I mean, yeah, maybe I mean, we'll eliminate it because it is not pointing. 1819 is not pointing to any of these pink lines. So, okay. They want so I'm gonna let me cut off the pink line so I don't confuse myself. Okay. But why is it there? I don't know.
Hmm.
It makes no sense
Hmm.
because it just doesn't. And I could be wrong too. I mean, I could be wrong. Let me think of where. Let me see something. Let me see. This is the electrical. And I don't know because all of these are new lights. I don't know because I don't see anywhere where we're digging for the new lights, for the new conduit for the lights. I don't see anywhere on this site plan that you, and this is why really that is vital to be able to switch from plan to plan. Because yeah, seeing none of this, they're not showing anything for the new lights that are going in, just the conduit. So maybe the lights are already there. I don't know. But for the purpose of demo, we're just going to do this 1819 over here.
Okay.
Cut concrete. So we just in the cutting phase. We got to cut first. Because I see, well, yeah, this is where they're putting in that the safe box or something for the uh what is it? Their little electronic thing. Okay, so when we demo concrete, that's first step, and then we have to do the area, remove concrete.
Okay.
So that always has two steps. Oops, shouldn't have stopped. And then this one here.
Mm.
All right, so that's our concrete. And now let's see what some of this other stuff is. Let's see. Oh, 18. Demo site paving and substrate for new. Wait, see? 18? See, that don't
Is
even
that the
make
side?
sense. See, I think that's a mistake.
Is that the sidewalk? It's
Yeah, that's outside the project too. So that 18 should have been somewhere else. Let's see. Yeah, 16 is don't move it. Don't remove it. Yep. And that's the same as that 16. And then let's see what 6 is. Yeah, that's to remain. Okay. So let's see, 13 and 15. Let's see what these, and those are the vacuum little spots. Hey, wait, I think, let's see what these are. I think that's concrete. 15 and 13. No, 13's the striping. Yeah, light pedestal and site.
mm,
Oh, look at that. Light pedestal, site lighting, and vacuum equipment. Cap any conduits below. Okay, that's why. Okay. Okay. So that's a good one. Now, so that's raised concrete.
okay.
So I don't know. I mean, do we have to cut that?
Mm.
Oh no, because we just that's raised concrete. So I don't know if a cutting. You tell me. I don't know that we cut that because that's like
Mm.
a raised pedestal. So we're not going to incorporate cutting it, but we're gonna. But we are definitely going to. And there's two vacuums in each spot. So demo vacuum, which is good.
Oh, so that's like the door tool. What do you call it? A count tool?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. We're counting. Yep. The counting tool. And then
What's that little circle to your right?
this one,
Yeah, that guy.
I don't know. Something that's on the
Okay.
plan that they're not identifying.
I okay.
Hmm. Something on there. All right. So these are just the striping, but that's the vacuum. And let's see. Let me make sure I read it right. 15 and 13. Yeah, 13 is the striping, 15 pedestal, sight light, and vacuum. Okay. Uh, maybe that's the light. I don't know. It's just not a good. So vacuum. Are there two vacuums there? No, it's just one. It's just one. Let's delete that. Delete, delete,
Click
delete.
click delete on your keyboard.
Just highlight it and press delete. Yep. And so now we have to add demo, which is good. So that's a big pole light. That's what they're replacing. Cause yeah, I did see that. Okay. And
Mm.
now we have to remove the concrete pedestal because that's gonna be like the concrete pedestal is like, if you could think about it this way, it's like maybe a 2 inch, 2 to 3 inch high off the ground. And so
Hmm.
what I would demo that is the cost I would use for that is like we're demoing uh a little short wall because that's going to be different than a curb. Okay. So
Mm.
demo raised concrete. You could think about it in terms of that or a foundation. That's better. That's
Okay.
better.
Okay.
That's better.
Okay.
Yep. A foundation, and don't worry about typos.
Of course not.
uh, Raised concrete, and we'll say foundation. Think about it that way. And then we're going to say it's
Okay.
like a 4 inch. I'm not sure, but we'll use 4 inches. And what I'm going to also do is do this, and then I'm just going to go right here. I'm not going to worry about the curve part. So that's like a 4 inch foundation. And we could have just, multiply times however many of these we have, but we could go ahead and just want to cover it all in. Why do I keep stopping? I don't know. And then the last part is just the striping, which is just sitting there measuring these lines back and forth.
Mm.
It's good. Be a little off. It's all right. But the
That's okay.
benefit of all, this Plan Swift tool is that you're going to be more accurate than anybody on the planet. And that's what you want because a good estimate starts with a excellent takeoff. Okay. If I'm measuring, okay, for instance, one of my clients, I don't know how they're in business, but they still use the little rolly balls, which I've never used because I've always used Plan Swift. So, for instance, if
Mm.
somebody's just guessing, for a fact that this is 474, basically 475 square feet of concrete. I mean,
Hmm.
because you have a very accurate tool. Somebody just guessing, how are they gonna do it? Or even a rolly ball. I don't even know how that works. But a good estimate starts with the accurate takeoff. And when you use Plan Swift, you have the game beat. You have the thing. I mean, that's why my clients win, first of all, is because we have accurate takeoffs. It's 10
Okay.
feet. It's not, I mean, imagine if you add a half a foot to every wall. Well, then eventually, you're overbidding. And so
Mm.
you've done the best thing by getting the best tool, which is As much as I hate the way they charge now, a takeoff tool like Plan Flip is good. I mean, you're always going to be accurate. You know what I need to do because I think this is curb. And two, anytime I got to guess, I'm going to guess on the benefit of the contractor. Okay, because I'm assuming that is curb. These are driveways, so they got to be a curb. And I'm thinking, oh, trellis, is that something? I don't, I'm confused what this is. I'm thinking, what is a trellis? I'm gonna have to look that up. Is this something on the roof or is it something like a overhang? I think
Might
so.
be good. Well, it uses like a little kind of little wall that you can see through, like a decorative wall.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But see, they say all of this is, so I'm confused. I'll look that up. I'll make sure I know what I'm doing on that one. But
Okay.
the only other thing, this is definitely curb, and then we'll go here with the straight. Okay, so we're now removing that concrete, just the curb. And let's see what two is. Demo framing wall with the company interior. GC the patcher. Da, 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 da. Okay. All right. So this is inside the building, interior wall. Okay. We'll do that. Demo, interior wall. It looks like it's, well, maybe, I don't know. They know what they mean, but they don't really. So I'm just going to put it in there. That's an interior wall. And what does it say about the flooring? Existing framing wall with the company interior drywall. Okay. Patch and repair, walls and flooring. And so what we're going to do is just do this because if it's in there, I'm going to give an amount for it. Patch, repair, floor, ring. Don't know what kind of flooring it is, but we'll just assume it's some kind of linoleum. But
Okay.
assuming we're going to mess it up. And what I'm also going to do is wall trim because if it has some kind of wall base or whatever, because it doesn't show that that's a door. Here's the door. So just in case I got wall base I got to take out. There we go. There's that one. And let's see anything other than the striping because the striping is forever. Let's see what 9 and 11 is. Protect the plumbing. Okay. And you know what? I'd even give that a cost, $50. What am I protecting it with? Probably, you know, I don't know what that means. Put something around it, put
Mhm.
some cones around it, something so nobody can run into it. I don't know what that means. Okay.
Okay.
So, but hey, everything on here needs to have a cost associated with it. And if they want me to protect the plumbing, I need to probably look at it first, see what we're talking about. I don't really know what we're talking about right here. They're just pointing to it. So it's probably something that maybe I need to make a barrier around that, and make it highly visible. Who knows, but I mean, that's part of your assessment really when you do initial assessment is that, yeah, what am I demoing and what around it that is possibility of it being damaged that I need to make sure we put some kind of protection around or whatever. So that's always something to think about when you do a walkthrough. You say, "Oh, I got the contract. I'm gonna go do the walkthrough." Okay, well, I see these windows that I'm demoing, right, and that whatever that 9 is next to my window. What's the best way to protect that? Because yeah, it's gonna cost, as we already know. They already told me if I'm messing up stuff, I gotta pay for it. So
Mm.
you know what I mean? And
Yep,
with just like we talked about last week, it's like everything is preventing yourself from being sued. You know what I mean?
that's right.
And I don't know how long have we how long have we been on this class? When did we start? We
Um,
could just go on
oh
forever,
my
couldn't we?
I think we've come to a close. It's 11:43.
I'm like, when did we start though? 8:15?
Yeah,
Man,
8:15.
oh wow. We're doing good. All right. Any questions on this?
No, no,
Okay, so
nope.
now you
Just
you have
talking through all this is pretty good. I just, right now I have the knowledge, but you just like riding the bike. We've been
yeah,
looking at
right.
riding the bike
Mhm.
to ride the bike.
You got to do it.
I gotta click on these things and do it.
Oh, look, here's something we didn't look at. One, one. What? Car wash tunnel. Oh, look. Okay. See, that's terrible. I didn't even look at this one. Enlarged restroom, employee storage room. We'll look at that one. But it looks like these are our same windows that we saw on the exterior elevations. So it's not really much. Whatever 5 is. Let's see what 5 is. Demo, window glaze infill. Yeah, I mean we see this already. So this isn't helpful. I don't even know. Okay, let's see what 2 is, but we already saw that. Framing. Oh, okay. Here, this is okay. Now this one. This one. This right here, framing and interior. No, wait. 2. Yeah, this one. That's what we did here. Okay.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They've extended that, and it's like, is that a door? I don't even know what that is. Is that a door? I guess so. Something on top of the door? I have no idea. But yeah, I mean, we don't care about that. We took care of that. We took care of that by doing it right here.
Okay.
Okay. Now for you, what I want to see you is I'm going to finish the striping, but let's see what
Uh-huh.
17 is. Existing. Yeah. Oh, nah, 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 nah. Yeah. Transforming to remain. Okay. Now this 18 bothers me. Okay. It really does because I'm assuming we got it covered
We need
here.
more information.
Yeah. And two, we need more information because you know what? Like I was saying, I think, I think that, you know what I think? I think this part, this single line is trenching. That's what I think. Where this, they want you to open it up because
Mm-hmm.
I think this single dot, dot, dot is telling you trenching. Okay. You know why? Because going back to my electrical, look, this is, they're adding all of this. This is electrical conduit underground.
Oh, underground.
Hmm. Right? Because they're adding outlet for something, right? That's what we had to dig up. So they're adding an outlet for something, and then this is for a breaker for a safe, a 100 amp 3 pole breaker, and then this right here in electrical, these are all lights. Okay, so these are all lights that are strung together.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, all of this is these are all new lights And see, remember how we had to remove the platform? I think I'm yeah, I think that dotted line is trenching. Trenching only, not opening up the ground. That's what I think. Because again, this is the electrical, and that though that dotted line runs along here. Those two dotted
Okay.
lines run
Yeah.
pretty much in the same from here to here. Let's go back. Where is it? Up here. Bad set. See, you see that dotted line?
Yeah.
There's one here, and then there's this one where all of those lights were. All of remember I showed those are lights all connected right there,
Mm-hmm.
and it all went to here. So I think this is just trenching only.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Because again, let's go back to the electrical. That's why you got to be able to go through to see what these fools are talking about. You see
Mm-hmm.
that all of that is going in the same direction as those
Okay.
broken lines from the end of the parking lot right here. Because see, look, this is the where they drive out where they say don't replace that concrete or whatever. But then let's go back up, put on your photographic memory. See, that's electrical. And then the
Mm-hmm.
demo, all these broken lines running the same way. So
Okay.
that
So
is,
that's a trench cut.
I'm thinking, I'm thinking
Okay.
they both are because it's running the same way as my electrical conduit they're asking us to run from this
I
point
see.
where that safe is, where that uh, uh, GFCI outlet is, where that breaker is. It's right in here where they dug, where they asked us to dig the hole.
Okay. So
Hmm.
that other thicker broken line by 18, yeah, that guy. What is
This one,
that?
I don't know. So let me go back to because it could only be the only thing we haven't done is electrical. So I don't know what that one is. I have maybe it's this right here because they have a whole new setup on how they have the cars coming through. So
Mm-hmm.
I you know I don't know.
Mm.
But yeah, my broken lines on that demo follow this same little path of their new stuff that they're doing. So
Okay.
yeah, that's
Okay.
probably just a trench. But then you figure if it's a trench, it's got to be at least the size of the, because we're putting in what 1 inch pipe. Oh, I mean, this is a
Okay.
1 inch pipe, 1 1/4 max. Maybe some of them are two. But then you have to give it at least a foot on each side of it, right? To put it in, to place it, to put gravel, the bedding in it. So yeah, I mean, just like I'm gonna be doing trenches in my backyard. But yeah, you need some area or some distance on each side of the trench. So yeah, if the pipe, they're going to need at least maybe 6 inches on each side if it's only at least minimum. So that's probably why they're not showing like they're showing for the big demo. Where's my mouse? It's like this class is over, Stacy. I'm gonna lose your mouse. So they're not showing us this much area because for a trench, you don't need that much. The size of the pipe is 1 inch, and I mean, for the largest pipes, we say give it 12 inches on each side, but not for a 1 inch pipe. So,
Right.
you might give it 6 inches on each side, just enough to get the bedding, get the pipe down in there. Well,
I
get the
love it.
bedding
I
down in
love
there,
You
the
know what
pipe
you're talking about. I
and
love
on
it.
top. But yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's crazy. So, you know, it's this is a stupid set of plans. And so when I tomorrow I'm gonna call the GCM like, hey, those dotted lines, that's just for trenching, right? That's not a mistake, right? We need to trench. And they'll probably say, oh yeah, because they just assume you know. It's like, what? You have to explain. And there's so many new contractors, it's like you got to explain everything, or else half of it. I mean, imagine if I didn't include all of that trenching. I'm sure I'd win the project, but my God, it'd be so underbid, it'd be ridiculous. So,
Yeah.
all right. So that's it. I'm gonna let you go enjoy your Saturday.
You too. Thank you so much. I really
Yes,
appreciate you. I get the impression you genuinely want to make sure I know how to do all this, which I really
right?
thank you.
For
Because
sure.
sometimes people kind of do a little something, something, but I get the impression you want to make sure I know what I'm doing, and I really
Hey, you
appreciate
pay good money. That's what I'm seeing. I'm not cheap, and you invested in yourself. I'm going to do the same thing. You know what? What
I
is
love
that though? What are these right here? And they're not pointing to those at all. Hey, but you know what? We're working on this together. So I'm going to figure out what these little S's with the dots, S, could that be? I don't know what
it.
that is,
Okay.
but it looks like we got to remove it, whatever they are, right? Because the dots
Okay.
are around them. So this one is really poor. I'm gonna let the GC know. Who'd you have do this? It's terrible, confusing. Because they want you to underbid. That's what they want you to do. All right,
Exactly.
but we won't do it. You enjoy your
Okay.
weekend and work on this one, okay? With your
Okay, I
plan,
will. Wait,
and
wait,
I'll
did
have
is this
all of the videos for you.
sent this to me?
Say it
When you
again.
say work on it, you already sent this plan to me?
No, I did not actually because I just got this one new and I was like, oh, this is a good one for us to do. So yeah, I'll send you when we get off class right now. I'll send you that and I'll also send you the recording. I forgot we recorded.
Okay, thank you
Oh,
so
Lord.
much. Thank you.
All right. Have a good Saturday. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Bye bye.